Hi, and welcome back to Stone Dead Last. Today's episode, we're going to be getting under the bonnet of the Swift, getting some more power out of this beast, hopefully. We're going to get the front end stripped, get some nice work done under here. Hopefully we can improve on the baseline power figure, which I'll be showing you shortly. You join us down at Heavy Developments, where we're going to get a baseline power figure out of our beastie Swift, see where it's sitting at the moment, and then we'll see what those mods eventually do once we've had some fun under the bonnet. But as of right now, you can see how healthy it is. Not quite what we hoped for. No. As you probably saw, my face looked a little bit disappointed with our dyno run. Now, that 94.3 horsepower is obviously at the hubs. Originally, this car would have had around about 123 at the flywheel out of the factory. So based on that figure, we're probably looking somewhere in the region of 112, 113 horsepower at the flywheel, around about 10 horsepower down on factory. Considering the car's 20 years old, it has also had a couple of issues that we've discovered since. One being that the rocker cover gasket is leaking quite badly. And second of all, the existing catalytic converter had completely disintegrated inside the exhaust. There was bits in the downpipe, there was bits in the midsection, there was bits in the tailpipe. So that's definitely not going to be helping our power figure either. So fingers crossed, just doing those two bits in themselves will probably have done something towards helping us with that power figure anyway. So ideally, between that and then having all of these modifications fitted later on, we should hopefully see at least, 120, 130 at the flywheel. That's kind of a decent expectation. So fingers crossed, I'll have a bit more of a smile next time. So first up today, we're going to be getting this front end stripped so we can get access to all of this lovely stuff down here. Placing this intake, we've got a new exhaust manifold to go in here. That's going to involve us relocating the oil filter slightly. We're going to have an oil cooler, which is going to be sitting down in here as well. So we're going to be getting most of this front end off, see how much of this we can get rid of, make our life nice and easy. Eventually we will also be fitting these nice shiny carbon bits as well. So wing and bumper, etc. aren't needed anyway. Also get this lovely lump of battery towards the back of the car, shift some weight out the way, get this area nice and free for some airflow coming through it as well. That'd be ideal. So hopefully by the end of this video, you'll see some nice shiny bits in here, and we'll hopefully have some power to go with it. As you'll see with a quick mock-up of this intake, the existing expansion tank is right in the way. You'll see here how it slots over the oil cap and sits down below then and takes feed through this grill here. This is why we've got to swap these grills out, because as you'll see, there is basically no airflow through this side of it because it's completely sealed. The rest of it is open. You'll probably maybe be able to see the rad through there, but this side here is all completely solid. So we're going to get this replaced and this replaced to introduce more airflow into that, but also we're going to have to replace this header tank, and the intake, so the exhaust manifold which is down here is also going to have to come out with a few little mods to be done to relocate that new one in position. So between the intake and the exhaust, quite a lot of this stuff around it is all going to have to be played with, along with cutting out this surround behind here so that we can get it all in. Somebody may have been here before us. As you can see, successful session. Front end is pretty much stripped and ready now. We've got most of the stuff out of the way I think we need to do. Happy days, ready now to start actually installing some stuff on this Swift and hopefully making it a little bit faster. So, remnants of what we've stripped off so far. A lot of this will be going back on, as you can imagine, wheels and tyres. Lights are going to get a bit of a refurb. Bumper will get reused at some point, but for now it's going to stay off. Old airbox, exhaust. Then we've got our decatted section versus our old catted section. Should help a little bit with our rolling road revisit when we get back to that later down the line. Now we have now got our sandwich plate fitted. Mounts directly to the base of the original oil filter housing. That is our oil cooler in and piped up. Filter housing is now on as well with our nice new racy oil filter in. Bit of a tight squeeze to get the pipe work through some of it, but relatively straightforward. Next stop then is we're going to remove the ECU, get that ready to be sent off to be flashed. And then we're going to start with the exhaust. Run the manifold in, get it through this gap down here. Then we can start to reassemble this front end, get the radiator back in. Hopefully do a test start shortly, see how it sounds with the exhaust on, and also check for the cooler having any leaks. Hopefully it won't, fingers crossed. Next up then, we're going to get these freshly wrapped bits of exhaust mounted onto the Swift. We're getting close then towards trying a bit of a test start, running up the oil cooler, get it filled with oil. Let's make sure there's no leaks before we get too far. Obviously we're going to have to put the radiator back on to do that. First of all, exhaust in, because then it's nice and easy without this rad in the way. We can then get oil in, we'll bleed the radiator, and then we'll see if she runs, and hopefully, fingers crossed, no leaks. So we've now got the manifold connected. We drop underneath, we've now got the downpipe in, dropped underneath the cross member. And then now have the midsection in, which is also now connected into the back box as well. So that is everything exhaust wise now connected up. We are missing one bolt that is not with the kit, unfortunately, so I'll have to add that at a later date, but thankfully everything else is connected, it works. It's all tight, all nice and neat, albeit with a little bit of a squeeze getting it up and into there. The exhaust is now all back together. We are going to now start on the cooling system. I've got this upgraded thermostat to fit. Unfortunately on these, the thermostat is actually buried down below here. So I'm going to have to take off this intake manifold along with all of the other stuff around it to get to it. A bit of a faff. So much swearing, blood and tears later, we have now got the thermostat out. Probably a good job we were changing at this, looking at the state of in there anyway. I had to take the full injectors out. There was an awful connection. There's a bolt that sits right down here below the actual height on all of this pipe, along with this hidden earth that did not have caused me some stress, but we have got there now, so I can put my uprated thermostat in. Hopefully it won't take me as long as it did to take it apart, to put it all back together again, but that's another job, 50% ticked off the list anyway. So intake manifold is now back together. We've also got the injector rail back on and connected. And that's everything for this episode. Join us next time when we'll get the front end reassembled. We'll get the car back on the dyno so we can see what all that lovely work we've done under the bonnet and underneath the car has done in terms of performance figure. And fingers crossed, I might have a smile on my face at the dyno this time. Join us then and you can find out. Thanks.